Absolutely huge news coming out. But first, I want to take you guys on a tale, because it's very difficult when you're lost in, the price volatility on the day to day. Sometimes it's very hard to zoom out on the macro. But all these things have happened in the last 2 years alone, and that makes me incredibly bullish on Bitcoin. So I'll take you guys on this chronological order, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, Samsung produced 3 nanometer chips that can be used for Bitcoin mining. So first, Samsung announced that it's going to make Bitcoin miners. Samsung is a massive company, but it wasn't only Samsung. It was also Intel. Intel announced the Intel block scale ASIC that was supposedly energy efficient, and it was going to help people with the climate and with Bitcoin and with all that stuff. So now we have Samsung and Intel making Bitcoin miners. Holy crap. But it wasn't only that. This is Russia's Gazprom. Gazprom is Russia's state-owned natural gas company, and they sell a lot of that natural gas to Europe. It's a massive, massive company. Before this whole, situation in Ukraine happened, if you look at any of the soccer games over in Europe and you look at the sides, when they put the sponsorships on those little boards on the side of the field, Gazprom was always one of the sponsors. It's a massive, massive company. If you live in Europe, you definitely know what it is. Anyways, so Gazprom announces it's mining Bitcoin, but it's not only Gazprom, it's also Exxon Mobil. Exxon Mobil is a giant company here in the US. They're an energy company, and they also announced that they are mining Bitcoin in North Dakota. So to recap, right, you have Intel and Samsung making Bitcoin miners. You have Exxon and Intel saying that they're mining Bitcoin. This all happened this year, even with, or basically in the last year or so, even with Bitcoin going down 70%, all of these things still happened. How could you not be bullish? And today, the big news of the day was this article by CoinDesk. 7 South Korean brokerages plan to start Bitcoin and shitcoin exchanges next year. 7 large traditional brokerages in South Korea have started laying out the groundwork for their own Bitcoin and shitcoin exchanges in the first half of next year. The firms have applied for a preliminary approval and establishment of corporations to run virtual asset exchanges. Mirror Asset Securities and Samsung Securities are among the 7 firms the newspaper reported, citing anonymous industry sources. Myri has established a subsidiary under its affiliate Myri Consulting, which is hiring technical staff for various Bitcoin and shitcoins and NFTs, while Samsung is studying how to enter the blockchain-based security tokens market. So it looks like they want to sell some shitcoins. At the end of last year, Samsung could not find staff to build their trading platform. Anyways, absolutely massive. Samsung is a massive, massive company. It's a massive corporation. They make a crap ton of things. Like they make, TVs, they make LEDs, they make, sometimes the routers, they make a lot more things than you're aware of. They make fridges, they make a lot of crap. And anyways, for them in the last 2 years alone, to say that not only are they making mining chips, but now they actually want to sell Bitcoin, the writing is on the wall that this thing is inevitable. The incentives are irresistible. And remember, with the government central bank digital currencies, they won't adapt. These companies, they won't sell it because they want to sell it. They'll sell it because they'll be coerced to sell it by governments. Now, here's the thing that we always say on this show, that incentives are stronger than coercion. And this time is no different. Here you have Bitcoin's incentives and the parasitic shitcoins, leeching onto that hype train behind it. And there you have it. It's working its magic without a CEO, without marketing, without government coercion. It's just saying, yo, do you want to take it? Do you want to benefit from Bitcoin too? You're going to have to get on the train, brother, right? So this is why I believe Bitcoin will win long term. The incentives are stronger than anything that central bank digital currencies will throw at us. And this is why I believe long term we will win. But this is massive news. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Now Samsung is not only making Bitcoin mining chips, now they're planning to sell Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin as well, right? Which is incredibly bullish. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts?
Well, you've been watching this closely, and What more can I say, man? But first of all, Samsung, it's Bitcoin, not shitcoin, but you can't stop the signal. And like we say all the time, you know, Bitcoin's incentives stay winning. And it's just further proof that Bitcoin will overtake everything, and it's just a matter of time. Free market money stays winning. And here's just further proof, guys, that we are on the righteous path. Continue to double down. Do not doubt yourself. Do not doubt what we're doing here, because Bitcoin stays winning. Bitcoin is, and that's all that matters.
Bitcoin is, and that's all that matters. It's very exciting. I think this is just the beginning. I think it's going to get even crazier. But anyways, I got some Opti news for today. Opti loves this type of stuff. Check this out. Controlling crypto use can make the internet safer, says UN executive. Remember, the UN is also, they also released an article, a paper that said that we have to stop developing countries from adopting cryptocurrencies, right? These people are not your friends. And anyways, it sucks for them because Nico, like always, brings the receipts. Check it out. United Nations Executive Director of Drugs and Crime Office, Ghada Wali, has suggested that controlling how cryptocurrencies are used can partly contribute to making the internet safer. That's right, guys. We have to make the internet safer by controlling cryptocurrencies. Yeah, anyways. Speaking during a sessions with the World Economic Forum, weird how that all, for some reason, and that's weird because remember how we covered that fact-checked article, and for some reason a person from the United Nations was also on the World Economic Forum podcast, and they were talking about how they wanted to control speech to make the internet safer. So they want to control things that they can't control. Why? Anyways, well, we all know why. Wally noted that the focus should be on probing how digital assets are used illegally. Notably, amid the growth of cryptocurrencies, various assets have been utilized in illegal vices like the purchase of drugs and money laundering. You know what sucks for these people is that now you could do a simple Google search and you can realize how much they're bullshitting you. Anyways, which is why they're so hell-bent on wanting to control the narrative. Check out this article from Bitcoinist. It says a report from the International Narcotics Control Board, maybe they probably know some things about illegal drugs, that Bitcoin is not the preferred method for drug cartels and other criminal groups to launder money. They rather use, wait for it, banks. This opposes the widespread narrative that claims the digital coin creates the opportunity for crime. But it's not only that, guys. A new report by the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecom, most of you guys know it as SWIFT, says cryptocurrency is seldom used for money laundering activities compared to fiat and other traditional methods. Despite the perception that crypto assets are preferred haven for illegally acquired funds, criminals prefer to launder proceeds through mules, front companies, or cash businesses, as well as investing into crime. Identified cases of laundering through cryptocurrencies remain relatively small compared to the volumes of cash laundered through traditional methods. Money laundering remains a huge problem for economies throughout the world, according to the UN. Even the UN. UN's Office on Drugs, you're owning them with their own receipts. Around 800 billion to 2 trillion, or the equivalent between 2 to 5% of global GDP, is laundered through cash channels each year, but crypto does not feature predominantly. But why does this lady still want to say we can control things by going after crypto? I'll redefine it. They can't control you if they use Bitcoin. And that's what this is about. The same reason, but they said, hey, we have to control speech for your safety. No. They can't control you if you decide to do your own research. If they can't control the narrative, they can't control what you're thinking. If they can't control the money you use, then they can't control you. If you actually look at the receipts, their receipts coming from them, it even says that the majority of money laundering and crime and drugs is used through cash. Bitcoin is a public ledger that lasts for the rest of time. The evidence will be there forever. In cash, you give someone a $100 bill, that's not tracked, that's not traceable, right? So cash is obviously a much better tool. But of course, that doesn't fit their narrative. They can't control you if that's the case. They need a boogeyman, just like the Treasury used the North Koreans to arrest an open source developer, to sanction open source technology, even though we know for a fact the majority of Tornado Cash users were not linked to crime. It was only that 10%. So why are we paying the consequences for 10% of those transactions being linked to crime? What is going on here? They need an excuse to control this thing. They need an excuse to go after speech. Don't fall for it, because we always bring the receipts. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts?
Well, Nico Jones with the receipts. It's a good Monday. We're starting off strong, but of course we see this framing. Like, is anyone surprised by this? It's like I said it last week. It's like we don't even have to read these articles because we already know what they're going to be saying. And it's like every single time it's like the same 4 points. But it's just further proof to me that the small cabal of parasites are terrified. Like, you are the light that puts the fear of God in them, in their cold little hearts. Like, Bitcoin is fuck you money. Like, fuck you. You can't control me. And they need an excuse. So they will pick on the bad apples and try to make us all look like criminals. But we know what time it is. Like, we are just average, everyday people that are tired of getting stolen from, and we are doing our best to protect ourselves, our individual selves, and our family and friends. Like, do not fall for this narrative. Privacy is not a crime. You know, saving storing your wealth and your life force is not a crime. Do not fall for these narratives. This is why we show up every single day and counter this stuff, because it's absolute BS, and someone's got to do it, because we got to spread the good word of Bitcoin. Like I said in the first section, we have the tools to fix this. Feature, not a bug, guys. Stay positive. We are winning.